Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're delving into a silent, brutal war that has raged for millions of years. It's a conflict fought not with armies, but with sinew and bone, a relentless evolutionary arms race between predators that shatter bone and the prey that desperately try to withstand them. This is the story of durophagy, the practice of eating hard materials, and how the ability to crack open a bone has sculpted some of the most terrifying and successful hunters the world has ever known. In the unforgiving wilderness, every calorie counts. While flesh and organs are a predator's main prize, bone and the marrow within represent a rich, locked-away source of fats and minerals. Accessing this bounty is a huge competitive advantage, especially when food is scarce. It means a predator can consume an entire carcass, leaving nothing for rivals. But it requires a specialized toolkit, immense bite force, incredibly robust teeth, and skulls built to withstand crushing pressures. This single evolutionary pressure has forced unrelated species, separated by millions of years and entire continents, to arrive at remarkably similar solutions. This is called convergent evolution, and bone crushers are one of its most stunning examples. When we think of bone crushing, one animal immediately comes to mind: the spotted hyena. Forget the cartoonish image of a lowly scavenger. Spotted hyenas are incredibly skilled hunters and the undisputed modern masters of osteophagy, or bone eating. Their success is etched into their very skull. A spotted hyena can clamp down with a bite force of around 100 pounds per square inch, or psi. This immense power is generated by massive jaw muscles anchored to a prominent sagittal crest, a ridge of bone running along the top of the skull that provides a huge surface area for muscle attachment. But the real secret lies in their teeth. The hyena's premolars have evolved from slicing blades into heavy, conical hammers. These teeth are built to withstand the incredible forces needed to crack the leg bones of a wildebeest. Even their tooth enamel has a complex, three-dimensional internal structure that resists fracturing under stress. The evolution of this bone-crushing toolkit is a long and resource-intensive process. A young hyena's skull doesn't reach its full, formidable adult shape until it's nearly 3 years old, long after it has been weaned. This highlights just how specialized and crucial this adaptation is for their survival. While hyenas are the champions, the cat family, Felidae, has also produced some powerful contenders. Among modern big cats, the jaguar is a standout. While a tiger might have a stronger absolute bite, the jaguar has the strongest bite relative to its body size. This allows it to employ a unique killing method. It often bypasses the throat and bites directly through the skull of its prey to pierce the brain. But to find a truly dedicated bone crusher in the feline lineage, we have to travel back to the Pleistocene epoch, the age of giants. Here we meet the American lion, Panthera atrox. This was a colossal predator, about 25% larger than a modern African lion. Its fossilized skull is incredibly robust, and its teeth have been described as being like railroad spikes. Unlike the famous saber-toothed cats, whose long, slender canines were ill-suited for hitting bone, the American lion's teeth were built for crushing. This suggests a feeding strategy much like a hyena's, where it could break open the bones of large prey like horses, camels, and even young mammoths to get at the marrow. It was a cat that had independently evolved down the same path as the hyenas of the Old World. Long before modern wolves roamed North America, the continent was dominated by a different group of canids, the borophagini, or bone-crushing dogs. For over 30 million years, these predators were a major force. Their evolutionary journey is a textbook case of convergence with hyenas. Starting from smaller, fox-like ancestors, they diversified into a range of forms, culminating in giants like Epicaion, which could reach the size of a grizzly bear. The skulls of the most advanced borophagines are astonishingly similar to those of hyenas, featuring short, deep snouts, domed foreheads, and powerful jaws lined with massive, rounded premolars perfect for shattering bone. We know for a fact they did this because their fossilized feces, or coprolites, are often found packed with bone fragments. These animals were North America's answer to the hyena, fully exploiting the carcasses of the continent's ancient megafauna. Their eventual extinction around 1.8 million years ago left a unique ecological niche in North America, that of a large, specialized bone crusher that has never been truly filled since. Now, let's travel further back, to the late Cretaceous period, to meet the undisputed king, the ultimate bone crusher, Tyrannosaurus rex. For a long time, scientists debated whether T-Rex was a predator or just a scavenger. The evidence is now overwhelming. T-Rex was an active hunter with a bite unlike anything else that has walked the earth. Its skull was a biomechanical marvel of fusion and strength, capable of producing a bite force estimated between 35,000 and 57,000 newtons. That is the most powerful bite of any terrestrial animal, ever. It was enough force to literally pulverize the bones of its prey. And its teeth were perfectly designed for the task. They weren't the thin, steak knife daggers you might imagine. They were thick, conical, and incredibly strong, often compared to killer bananas. With deep roots to anchor them, these teeth could puncture and crush bone without shattering themselves. We have found the proof of this power carved into the fossil record. Bite marks on the bones of dinosaurs like Triceratops and hadrosaurs show deep punctures and gouges that perfectly match the teeth of a T-Rex. Some of these bones even show signs of healing, meaning the animal survived the attack, definitive proof of active predation. Perhaps the most direct evidence comes from a T-Rex coprolite found in Saskatchewan, Canada. This fossilized dropping was packed with the crushed bone fragments of a young dinosaur, a literal snapshot of a meal eaten 65 million years ago. But this evolutionary arms race wasn't a one-sided affair. As predators evolved these bone-shattering weapons, their prey had to evolve equally effective defenses. This intense pressure drove the evolution of some of the most spectacular creatures in the fossil record. The coevolution between T-Rex and its prey is a perfect example. Why did Triceratops have a massive, bony frill and 3 formidable horns? They were defensive weapons against the bone-crushing jaws of a tyrannosaur. Why were ankylosaurs covered in thick, bony armor and armed with a sledgehammer-like tail club? To make themselves an incredibly difficult and dangerous meal. The very existence of these heavily fortified herbivores is a testament to the immense predatory pressure they faced. This constant struggle for survival, this brutal dance of adaptation and counter-adaptation, pushed both hunter and hunted to new evolutionary extremes. The story of bone-crushing predators, written in shattered fossils and ancient stone, is a powerful illustration of evolution's creative and destructive forces. It shows how different animals, in different times and places, found the same brutal solution to the universal challenge of survival, leaving a legacy that continues to fascinate and horrify us to this day. Thanks for listening to G Fun Facts Online.